Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Get Your Popcorn. This is a little bonus one because I want to chat about something super exciting I've got coming up. So, as some of you know, if you are following me on Instagram or TikTok, that I have been selected to do media or press coverage for the Vancouver International Film Festival this year. It's running October 2nd through 12th. I'm very, very excited to be a part of this. It's pretty crazy. I can't believe that my little podcast was accepted. It feels wild, but they're letting me do it. So, oh my God. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the opportunities for viewings that will be available. There's over 170 different titles that it's going to be there, which is crazy. The film will be kicking off on October 2nd with a film called Nouvelle Vague. I know I butchered that phrasing. I can't help it. I don't speak French at all. My accent's bad. I know I took Spanish in school, guys. I know Canada is a dual language country, but I took Spanish instead. Forgive me. So yes, Nouvelle Vague is going to be the opener of the festival on October the 2nd, and then it's running a couple of times throughout the festival as well. And the film will be closing with Clone 75, and that will be October 12th. The film festival is also having a spotlight on Korean films. Vancouver International Film Festival has a relationship with some of the film festivals in Korea, which is awesome. So they had a few of our films, by our, I just mean Canadian, a few of our films premiering and showing at their festivals there. And in turn, Vancouver does the same thing. So there's going to be 7 different titles, which is awesome. And just a few are Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice, Hong Saso's What Does That Nature Say? Another super crazy thing, guys. I cannot believe I have the opportunity to do this. Longtime listeners of the podcast will know that Mark Maron is my absolute hero, and he is going to be there. I have been a WTF listener since 2013 was when I first started listening. So for 12 years, I've been listening to him religiously every Monday and Thursday, and it's coming to an end this fall, which makes me so sad because I listen to that podcast every single week. It got me through some tough times. So there's going to be an evening with Mark Maron where there'll be a screening of his documentary about him called Are We Good? It talks about his life, his interviews with different comedians, people he knows, and then it also chats a lot about his loss of his partner, Lynn Shelton, in the middle of the pandemic. Longtime listeners of WTF will remember the surprise drop of that episode that I think is the most moving episode I think I've ever heard on a podcast, where he told the story and I cried. Everybody cried along with him. Not the one that he most recently released, but one of his stand-up specials talks a lot about Lynn, and he's processing of the grief through humor. I think added a lot of levity to people like myself who've experienced pretty profound grief, and then we're able to sort of laugh through a lot of his stuff. Mark Maron is a very important voice in comedy right now. He's pushing back against the bro comedians who are hell-bent on pulling down the rights of others. A lot of the comedians like we've seen, Andrew Schultz, Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, who have happily stood behind Donald Trump, and don't tell me now that they're criticizing him a little bit after all the stuff, which we knew he was going to do. Those of us who read books and studied history in 2016, when he was elected, said this motherfucker's evil. So I don't want to hear anything about people saying that they didn't know or they didn't think this was what he was going to do. He has a huge track record of racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, and sexual assault. The comedians were happily standing behind him, saying he was funny, platforming him, all that kind of stuff. Had him on his podcast, softball questions, didn't criticize anything. Believe me, don't tell me to listen to the long form interviews. I've already listened to all of them. They were horrible and they've stood behind them, but not Mark Maron. And Mark Maron has been very vocal about that. Is not afraid to speak up. He was speaking up against those comedians years and years ago when they started dog whistling a lot of this red pill content. So Mark Maron is a super important voice that we have in our world today. Kind of sad that he's ending his podcast because I think if you're a Maron fan, you have he has these little chats before his interviews where you have this little moment of oh, okay, somebody else feels this too. I don't know, I feel like Maron fans, we're all the same in terms of it is an outlet for when we can kind of be okay, we're not overthinking it. And so I'm gonna miss that. But Mark Maron's doing some really cool stuff. He's got this documentary. He's got other films he's being a part of. We're seeing him tiptoe into voicing of animation in the Bad Guys films. I mean, he's been doing this a long time. Like he's in one of my favorite movies, Almost Famous, way back in the 2000s. Yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of this evening with Mark Maron. It feels like mind-blowingly crazy, and it's all thanks to you guys for listening to this podcast. I get to be in the room with my heroes, so thank you, each and every one of you who listen every week, or keep it on in the background, or subscribe, or download, all the things that you guys do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We also are going to have some films that are specifically from BC, which is very exciting. We've got Akoshi, Clan of the Painted Lady, Treasure of the Rice Terraces, The Painted Life of E.J. Hughes, which I'm really sad I can't go and see. It conflicts with the time that I'm seeing something else, so that's kind of too bad. But I would have really liked to. My dad is a huge fan of E.J. Hughes' work, so I grew up with his paintings in our house. So I'm sad I'm going to miss that one. And then thanks to the hard work of elephants. So that's really exciting that we're highlighting some stuff from BC. There's also going to be a number of Indigenous films that I'm really looking forward to seeing. The one that I'm going to be seeing for sure is called Meadowlarks, which I think is going to be telling a really important story. The film is about 4 Cree siblings, Connie, Marianne, Gwen, and Anthony, who are separated during the 60s scoop. And for my American listeners, because you are like 40%, despite the fact that I bash your president every episode, you must be Democrats anyway. But I'm very excited because I think this is why film is so important, to be discussing things like the 60s scoop. So for those of you that don't know, the Indigenous population in Canada has been receiving systematic abuse from our government since as soon as settlers arrived here. And it's something that happened in the not 1860s, 1960s, was the systematic removal of children from Indigenous mothers that were then adopted out internationally or by white families who then got praised for being quote unquote progressive for adopting Indigenous children. These mothers were deemed unfit with either a lot of them were falsified documents or, you know, false reporting of issues, or women that were young, women that were deemed unfit that were fit, but it was just, the systemic oppression and racism that the Indigenous population has faced is splitting up families. You can go, there's a lot of more nuanced discussion on this that can be done than I'm able to do here, but I'm looking forward to a film like this because I think it has a lot to say, and I think we are able to learn so much in mediums like film for stories like this because it puts a face to it and a story and characters, and you can really get inside the emotions of it. And I feel like when you read stuff in a textbook, you don't always have that emotional connection and understand how horrible something like that would be. I mean, it's one thing to read it, is another thing to see it. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. There's also going to be a number of films that premiered at Cannes. So the Palme d'Or winner, It Was Just an Accident, and then Sentimental Value, which has a lot of buzz around it, guys. Lots and lots and lots of buzz, lots of Oscar rumors already. And then there's going to be the North American premiere of Young Mothers. It's also going to be a screening of the new documentary about John Candy, which just premiered at TIFF, called I Like Me. I'm looking forward to that one as well. He's sort of a Canadian hero. We love him. So I'm kind of excited to learn a little bit more about the complicated nature of his life. Any millennial, you'll know him as the polka guy from Home Alone or Uncle Buck. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. So I just wanted to chat a little bit about all of that. And so that's some of the exciting things I have. Just a little sneak preview. So I'll be going for both weeks of VIF here and there, just in and around my life schedule. So at the end of each week, I will do a wrap up that will air on Mondays, where I chat about the week and what I saw and how it went. And then honestly, probably I will end up dropping something after I do the thing with Mark Maron. Because holy shit, I'm going to be in the same room as Mark Maron. Anyway, if I can even talk, I might just be stunned into silence. You might not hear from me. I might ghost for, I don't know, till my brain understands that I was in the same room as my hero, guys. This is all thanks to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, viewers. Oh my God. Okay, thank you so much. I wanted to chat a little about VIF. I want to thank all the people at the VIF organization for accepting me to do the media launch. I feel really, really honored to be a part of all of this. I'm so excited. So thanks again, viewers, for listening, and stay tuned October 2nd through 12th.